Baby, let's reverse the vibes. Let's flip the script.
Oh, it's time. It is.
Broncos are sad. Nuggets are sad. Let's flip it, baby. What is everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Let's go.
Air horn. Give me it every 30. Yeah. Presented to you by Miller Lite. It is Miller time, fellas. We might need an entire bucket of Millers, maybe a whole tower. Maybe a couple of towers tonight to get through this back-to-back Nuggets against the Pistons. Not the Toyota Lounge tonight because the Broncos are in the post-game show, but we have a very special guest. Denver Nuggets superfan, DNVR Nuggets superfan, actor, it's Eme Ikwuaker. Eme, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Doing great. I just got done watching the Broncos game, so I'm a little, well, it was close. It was close,
It was like a bad omen, Like the bar was packed. It's completely full. And the if you guys don't watch football, man, the Bengals kicked the field goal. It hits the upright. It was like, all right, God wants the Broncos to win.
Yeah. And then the fourth quarter, last second touchdown. It's like, we got this.
Yeah.
And then now we're here.
But you know what I always say? When the Broncos are bad, the Nuggets are good. So maybe it's a good sign for us and our beloved Denver Nuggets. I got Superstar Dev in the house.
It was wild to be on top of the bar to see the Broncos rip every heart out of everybody's chest.
It sucked,
It was
man.
so much hope, and it was so many good vibes because, CU played right after that. So everybody's excited and ready to see, Deion Sanders, Shador, Travis Hunter last game with CU. Took it away. But guess what? The Nuggets play.
The Nuggets play, man. They got to save our vibes. They got the Pistons. Later on in the show, we're going to talk about Eme does Marvel, Inhumans. He does, you're in the Marvel universe now, officially. So you're going to give us which Nuggets players you believe, with your expertise, which ones line up with which Marvel characters. We'll do that later in the show. We'll also get to know Eme a little bit and why he's a Nuggets fan, why he likes this show, and what he thinks of the Nuggets. But we got to start by previewing this game. Back-to-back, second night of a back-to-back, fifth game in 7 days. It's going to be a challenge, and you're taking on a Pistons team that's won 3 in a row. They're 14-17. Last year, they only won 14 games.
They was giving out wings if they won games. They can't do that no more, man. They was truly giving out wings in Detroit. Wings and jackets.
It's kind of a crazy turnaround, man, and they've got 3 in a row. So I hate this because tonight would actually be a special night for them because you surpassed last year's total. Can't let that happen. Nuggets have to get a win. I feel like this game is sneaky, like huge with where the Nuggets are at. If they lose this one, I really do feel like it would be a tough spot for them to be in.
Yeah, I think especially you can just see them questioning themselves right now.
Yeah.
In a lot of different ways, like which direction do we go? What is actually the issues? And I think the problem that I'm seeing is like almost every problem that they're facing, either it's defending the 3-point or shooting the 3-point. Or especially defense or even the bench. Like these issues keep coming up over and over and over again. And I think, can you just possibly fix one tonight? To give you put you in a place for momentum moving forward.
It might only take one, to be honest. The Pistons are a perfectly average team. Like we're hyping them up because it's a good story, the bounce back. But I was going through the numbers: 18th in offense, 19th in defense, average at both. They don't have anything they're necessarily outliers in. They are 7th in fast break points, 7th in opponent points in the paint. But that's it. I mean, this is a middle of the road team where you're at home. Yes, it's the second night of a back-to-back, but you should be desperate. Like, this is one Denver, I think, should get, and if they don't get it, I think we would rightfully say the Nuggets are in a tight spot.
Yeah, the Nuggets are one of those teams that, they just got a championship, a couple years ago, so they're in the idea of they have to be contenders. So there's a lot of those letdown spots where you don't play desperate. You don't play with that same sense of urgency. But if you look at how the Nuggets have been playing as of late, and especially how they got blew out on their home court not even 24 hours ago, you have to play with a sense of urgency. You just let a team put up 149 points on you. Everyone got to see it. You're questioning who you are as a team right now and also the direction of the team. Jokic came out and talked about like how they're just nowhere near where they're supposed to be. When your best player and the best player in the world is making those type of comments, you have to play with a sense of urgency. This is a very, very important one.
We're going to the starting lineup here because last game they started Russell Westbrook. No AG, he's out again. They started Russell Westbrook. Tonight, they're running it back. Back with Russ, man, not Peyton Watson. You like this?
I do.
Why is that?
Look, I think
Get in close to the mic.
I think Russell Westbrook just provides energy, and I think. Look, I look at two things. I think Joker maximizes Jamal Murray, but I think Russell Westbrook maximizes Joker.
I think that's true.
As long as he's kind of in his best light, Joker, I think they always have a chance to win.
I hate it for this reason. I just think Peyton Watson, he's so important to what this team does. And if they're going to be competitive in the playoffs, it's going to be in large part because Peyton Watson takes a step forward. Yeah. He played those 10 games. He didn't start the last one and did not start him again. It's just, to me, it feels like, what's the opposite of a vote of confidence? I feel like that's what Malone's doing to him. Like, we gave you your shot, man. You didn't do it, so we're going somewhere else. And so I look at that and I go, this Aaron Gordon absence, however long it is, could be a shot in the arm to Peyton Watson. Russ doesn't need it. He's going to play his minutes. He's making an impact. He's confident. He's a vet. But I feel like Peyton Watson could. 2 games in a row, they're saying no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, this one is a little bit different for me. Last night, it made no sense to go with Russell Westbrook in that lineup because of the size discrepancy. This game is a lot of guards. There's, a matchup that you want, and also you want them to play with that type of intensity. You would hope that you get that from a defensive-minded player out of Peyton Watson, but not getting that right now. You're going to get that same type of intensity for Russell Westbrook. You also need to set the tone in this game, and Russell Westbrook brings that. He brings that veteran leadership, but also it's like, hey, we're not going to get our ass whooped again on our home court, and I think that that's something that you have to go with. So I'm not as shocked as I was last night.
I'm not shocked at all as well, to be clear, but I am disappointed. I'm not shocked. I'm just disappointed. The Pistons run a lot of pick and roll and a lot of dribble handoffs. So if you want a reason to not be confident about tonight, they're not great at everything, but they run a ton of pick and roll and a ton of dribble handoffs, mostly for Cade. And what he's trying to do is get to the rim. Like, they actually don't drop it off to their bigs too often. They get to the rim and try to finish, or they collapse the defense and kick out. Well, guess what? That's what Denver sucks at. We were just talking about guarding the three-point line. They collapse. They don't rotate well on the backside. So I look at this one and go, Cade Cunningham is having a great year, 24-10, averaging a double-double. He's been really good. Can Denver contain him? That's my question tonight. That sounds like a no.
But here's the thing: is I also just don't think that they need to. And I look at a lot of these games. And it's like, if Denver just plays their game, a lot of these, like, they still, in my opinion, they're on the tier of one of the best teams.
They have the talent to be there.
They have the talent to be the best team in the league, and all they need is consistency. That's it. Like, they don't need much. And it's like, again, I look at MPJ. MPJ is one of my favorite players, but it's like, I want more of a Porter game instead of a Porter. Like, we just need to play. I
don't know if we'll get that. I'll take 2 Porter quarters, to be honest. That'll be like as complete as we get.
Yeah, but I just want it in a way that we just play the game that we play. And that's it. Because I think that's what's missing right now. It seems like weird because it seems like Denver's trying to find its identity in a weird way.
For sure.
But it's also that Denver has been basically the Golden State, I'd say, for the last 5 years. And when you're that high up, and everyone's looking at you to take you down, then you have to find ways to better yourselves in those 5 years because people are trying to take you down.
Right.
And so I think they're still trying to play a little bit of like 5 years ago. And I think, look, I'm going to bring something up about the 2-man game. It's like, look, it works at the end of games, but I don't know if you should be doing it the entire game because we have a team that is built to do more than just that.
Right. I wonder if they're going to get that tonight with Russ. Back in the starting lineup, if you get a little bit more of that. They don't have the bigs that Cleveland had. It's not like it's a fortress in the paint like it was last game against the Cavs. So maybe this is an opportunity for Jokic to go crazy. I will say the other guy that scares me tonight is Jaden Ivey. When he plays well, they usually win. He's kind of their like Murray. If he's bad, they're probably not good enough to beat most teams, but he can get hot, and when he does, they're tough to deal with.
Yeah, I feel like Detroit they have that hunger to them, especially defensively, where they're after it. They're trying to prove themselves every single night. They're still young, but they're still trying to become who they are. So, like, at random times, I mean, it's the Cunningham show, but random times Jaden Ivey will step out and he'll have a monster game, a 30-point game, and they're like, we're going to feed him. Malik Beasley comes in the game and he shoots it every single time. He does not care. And then they have Jalen Duren, who does not care if he shoots the ball or not. He'll go and just get 25 rebounds. And he truly will try to go for 25 rebounds. So it's going to be on the Nuggets to truly like play hard and like own in on defense. You really have to take some ownership on that end of the floor, especially with how teams have been coming in here and getting whatever it is that they want.
Yeah, Nuggets are our favorite tonight. Looks like 5.5 or 6.5. We'll get into the bets a little bit later. I think it's a good chance for the Nuggets to win. And if they do, if you look at the Nuggets schedule coming up, a lot of winnable games. They got Utah, Atlanta at home, back-to-back against San Antonio, both games. Those are all winnable. And if you can win tonight and win those ones, you get up to 21-13. Everything resets. Yeah. It's like, all right, that's where we wanted to be. Reset the season. So tonight, to me, it really does feel like a pivot game. They win this one. Everybody calm down, take Sunday off, step away from basketball. Like, we'll be all right. You lose this one, and I think it's going to be a long weekend. Yeah. But we have a guest today. I wanted to get through the notes real quick just so everybody kind of knew what was going on. But we have a guest today, and you are a diehard Nuggets fan. The way this worked out, you actually, if I understand correctly, you and Deb kind of got connected. And you're like, hey, man, I'm a big fan of the show. I want to be a fella. Yeah. I want to come on.
I want to come on.
How'd this happen?
Well, this was actually, my birthday was like a few months ago.
Okay.
And so I didn't know about this until about 2 days ago. My brother and my wife, I guess, reached out to you guys and he's a big fan. And then I guess, did my brother run into you?
I ran into your brother a few times, like in the airport and things like that. And he would talk about you. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. But then it just came through. We have a mutual friend that was like, hey, he's a super fan. He is a fella. He is a true fella. Yeah,
it's an addiction.
Yeah, my boy, Mike Shamati. Shout out Mike. Yeah. He was like, yeah, he's a super fan. We have to get him on. So I was like, well, yeah, let's make it happen.
Yeah.
So what kind of super fan are you? Like, what kind of Nugget super fan are you?
So I'll just say, the day that I proposed to my wife, there was a Nuggets game on, and I had to design the proposal around the Nuggets. So basically what happened was it was during COVID and we were going to try to like go out and do it somewhere. But then I was going to be like, how about we just do it here at my complex that we live at. So as soon as she would walk outside the door, there'd be people and we'd start the whole thing. But I had to set it up that her friend was going to take her out to eat. But I had to stay in because there was a Nuggets game. So she's like, do you want to come? I was like, no, the Nuggets are on. I can't go. So then literally there's a Zoom going on because we got our family on and a bunch of our friends. And they're like, it's getting delayed because Emmy's watching the Nuggets game right now. And they said he's not able to watch the Nuggets game right now, which I wasn't able to do because I was just like, come on, you have to leave the house. Because she was like, she didn't know that it was happening. So she's like an hour and a half late just chilling as people are on the outside of our door. And it was a game that like Michael Porter Jr. was just going off.
In the bubble. I'm pretty sure this is in the bubble. All right, yeah.
And I was like, I can't watch the game and he's going off. And I was like, do I just turn on the game?
That'd be hilarious.
And I couldn't do it. But like, it's like consistent. Like, the thing that really turned me was the bubble. And like I grew up watching him and it was like, like the Matamo days and all that other stuff. But then I switched over to football more. And then when the bubble happened, it was the most exciting thing I have ever witnessed in my life. And I honestly still to this day believe that Adam Silver and the NBA saved sports.
I mean, if we remember that time.
When the way that they operated that and was incredible. And then just seeing like the 50 points from Donovan Mitchell and then like Joker and everybody, it was like I was hooked.
That's awesome.
And so at that point I was in. And then I've just been watching Joker like incessantly. I'm a person that watches preseason and gets pissed.
Hell yeah.
Like I get mad.
Speaking our language. Do you know about the Nuggets though? They had two deep playoff runs, the bubble and the championship. And I feel like both of them, this is why deep playoff runs are so important because you win in the first round, you go and lose in the second round. There's not that much momentum. You even have a couple breakout games, but it's not till the conference finals when everybody tunes in. Yeah. And I just felt like this both in the bubble. A lot of people fell in love with the Nuggets, but in the title year, that Lakers series was the one that converted everybody. And he had been great. Yeah. We watched him be great in the Phoenix series. We watched him in Minnesota. But the Lakers one was when everyone was paying attention. It was like, this guy might be pretty good.
Yeah, and that's also when you become a lifelong fan. Yeah. You remember those times, like when they beat a team that they're not supposed to beat. The bubble, I mean, everybody everybody remembers those times. And then you have to have a very, very cool player. You know what I mean? So like you get a little bit of both. But yeah, I mean that's a diehard fan.
Yeah. So you're obviously a Nuggets fan. Real quick, just how are you feeling about the Nuggets? I guess you kind of gave a little bit of it, but are you optimistic that they will turn this around?
I honestly believe that this is all dependent on Jamal Murray.
Accurate.
And I've been thinking about it. Like I say, Joker's the best player on the team, but at the end of the day, we live and die by Jamal.
I agree.
And I think that could be a good thing, but it could also be a very detrimental thing, because I think a lot of the games that you'll notice that we run slow, it's because we have to get Jamal Murray going. But then when that happens, a lot of times we could be icing out a lot of other players.
Yeah.
And I think we're constantly trying to get him going, which I don't know. Like, I'm confident because look, Joker is the best player I've ever seen in my life. And I honestly think ever since, like, the Olympics, people don't understand the game against the USA.
How close you got to the impossible.
I'm telling you, that was one of the most masterful performances I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And taking down basically the Avengers. Yeah. And you just lost at the split second. Like, if he would have won that game, and I still think
I know. I think it does matter. I feel like the whole narrative would be so different if they just pulled that one out. It'd be like, all right,
it seems like you'd think about this one off.
You would think about it nonstop. I know, man. I'm telling you, because it was right there. Yeah. It almost is like another championship. You know, even though I'm not Serbian, it's just you give Jokic another one because he won that. Yeah, he beat Team USA. That counts as one title.
And that's the thing and it's funny because it's the reason why I actually think they lost was because of depth. It's if they had a player and he didn't have to play the entire game to win. And look, and I'm also a person that's I understand the beef that we have with Philly. Yeah. And I have a Twitter alias to talk mad smack against Embiid. And so at the end of the day, when Embiid was I took down Joker, it's he played the entire game. Yeah, yeah. And you played for 15 minutes.
Yeah, it was 2 stints of 6 minutes or something like that. Come on, I say, hey, this is exactly how I feel. That's a great take. But speaking of the Avengers, we asked you, do you know this? I don't know if you know this. I've never seen a Marvel movie. I've never seen it. I've never read of Marvel. I've never seen anything. So I am the most Marvel illiterate person there is. So
wait. Huh?
No, I've never seen one.
Not even the Hulk?
I never saw the Hulk.
Do you know I don't know
how you're going to do this. I get the general pop culture because I just think an angry green guy.
That you're missing here.
No. The closest is Mallrats, where they talk about Marvel, but that's about as close as I get. They meet Stan Lee. But you are going to give us the key Nuggets players and which Marvel character they are, given your expertise. Okay. So where do you want to start?
I'll start. I got to start with Joker.
Okay.
And
you already revealed it, I think.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
Man, I only know how to read it.
Okay,
Thanos?
Okay.
Or Thanos?
Mine's Thanos.
Okay, Thanos.
I think Joker is Thanos. I think some people would think that, he could be mindset was it just seems like he's trying to get all the Infinity Stones to be unstoppable. He's the most dominant force. He could take anything down. Yeah. But all he needs is a consistent stone. Just get he has one stone here and then another stone there. And sometimes he has 3 stones. And if he could get 5 stones.
I know.
And let's just be one of them be the bench. Just get all 5 stones and he's Thanos. He's Thanos.
Because he's he took them all on, right?
Literally, that's what happened. We have to understand this. Yeah. He took on the Avengers. Yeah. And almost took them down.
Got close.
And it's if he just had one more stone.
He's a bad guy though, right?
He's the baddest of bad guys.
Look, he is. When you think about it,
villain.
Look, he is actually the villain in the NBA. They do not want to give him any props for anything.
I like this.
They don't want to give him any props for anything.
He goes and takes it all.
Takes it all.
I feel like this one's good because generally, again, I only know these things from references. And generally speaking, Thanos is the greatest of the great. So that makes sense to me. Joker works. All right. Where do we want to go next? Because these ones will get controversial.
Okay, I will. I'll go Jamal Murray.
Okay.
And I'm going to say he's the Hulk.
Okay.
And why am I saying he's the Hulk?
I'm ready for this one.
Yeah.
He's the Hulk because if you get him mad, he plays like the Hulk.
Perfect. Actually, I think this is correct.
But if he's not upset,
it's just a little dork.
He's just Bruce Banner. Just regular old Bruce Banner. And that's the problem. The issue is you don't know which one you're going to get.
Yeah.
So he could be, Bubble Murray, or he could be,
The only problem with this narrative, because I agree with you, I think it's perfect. The only problem is last year's playoffs, because they're up 20 at halftime, and what happens? Jamal Murray starts talking shit to Anthony Edwards. Edwards says, "I want him," shuts him down, and I'm like, "Hey man, that was the Jamal moment," and he kind of got out Jamaled by Anthony Edwards. But I do think, generally speaking, that is exactly who he is. He needs that anger, and all of a sudden, it's like he's unstoppable.
He's unstoppable.
Yeah.
And then
He's starting to get it back, by the way. I even feel like last game, like Mitchell cooked him, but I do feel like it woke him up a little, and he was like, "All right."
He got
do
woke
you
up.
know the play that woke him up? I honestly felt it
What's
was
that?
the foul where was it when Mitchell stepped on his foot?
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then like slipped out.
I
and
think
he's
you
like,
might be right. That's hilarious.
And he like
He's
slipped
you
up.
know
He's like,
what,
"I for this."
Yeah.
And
It's a little
then he
late,
changed
Jamal.
his game.
Come on, but all right, who's next?
And then look, I'm gonna say MPJ,
Okay,
and I'm gonna say MPJ is Groot.
the little tree.
He's a little tree, and the reason he looks.
I don't know anything about Groot other than he's a tree.
The reason why I say that MPJ is Groot, and look, I had other options that I was thinking. I was like, oh, is he Hawkeye with the laser? But the reason why I say Groot is because all he says is "I am Groot." And the reason why I say that is because all we let Michael Porter Jr. do most of the time is 3-point
That's
shooting.
true. He's sad in his corner.
He's just sat in his corner just saying, "I am Groot.
Yeah,
I
Mike.
am Groot."
Yeah,
yeah,
Mike.
Mike.
This is all he said. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Just shoot it.
Sat in
Just
the corner.
shoot it. Sat in the corner. But then it's like when he's like Baby Groot, he gets all like fierce and he can like do stuff, and it's just like, and they want him to do. He wants to do other things, but they're like, no, just say "I am Groot."
Oh, and Groot is like causing chaos when
Causing
he gets
chaos when he's in.
When he really gets to do himself, he is causing chaos at all times. You're
time.
like, yo, he's taking down everybody.
He's like a stumbling, bumbling
Yeah.
like
You're
guy.
like, yo,
His arms extended. He's like grabbing everything.
All right.
That's the other thing. And he could like grab boards and everything. He's like, he's there. Like, he's,
Okay.
I am Groot.
All right. So far, I'm like perfectly lockstep with these. I think you've nailed them. All right, who's next?
I gotta say that Christian Brown
Okay.
is Captain America.
This one just,
He is because Captain
the haircut and-
he is like all-American boy, but he's also just like he does right now what's given. You know what I mean? He's like the person that like you can put a shield on his chest and he's gonna dunk in someone's face.
Okay.
And do it back to back. Like he's just that guy. Like I could see
This feels
Christian
right.
Brown. He's like he's the guy that is like the hype man that I just love about Christian Brown. And it's just like he's showing consistency. He
Okay.
does what he's supposed to do.
yeah. Captain America doesn't want to be the face. He
doesn't
doesn't
wanna
want to
be-
be
yeah.
the man. He
Yeah.
just kind of is.
He's
who
a humble
he is.
guy?
But he is gonna. Yeah, he's a humble guy. American roots only.
Yeah.
But he's,
Yeah.
But he's gonna come save the day when he has to.
Yeah.
These all track for me, not knowing anything about them, but they're somehow speaking to me. So I feel like
Yeah.
we're on a good run. All right, what
Yeah.
else? How many more you got?
I got two more.
Okay. You have an AG?
Thor.
This also makes sense,
Hands
right?
down.
He's the strongest.
Hands down.
Yeah, this
he's
is
the
right.
energy.
This is
he's
actually-
he's the guy. He's the guy that's gonna bring down the hammer. He's the enforcer. He's the
Yeah.
brute. He's the guy that's just gonna run in middle of the, like again. I still keep going back to the Suns. That dunk that he had at basically at the end of the game and just dunked away,
yeah,
changed
yeah.
the
That was
crowd.
the hammer.
Like that was a hammer.
The
Like
hammer.
he is putting down the hammer.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like he's just that guy.
I didn't think of these. You sent them to me. I literally just like copy pasted, didn't even like study them. Not that it would have done any difference, but this feels right to me.
Yeah.
This is right. This makes sense.
Yeah.
This makes
Is
sense.
he the strongest outside of Hulk? Is he just like the strongest?
Oh,
he
hands
is, right?
Hands down. And he's the one that like does the dirty work.
Okay.
And the other thing that I look at is like he's the energy of the team. And if you look at like Thor, you'd say that like Iron Man kind of is like the leader of the group, but I actually think it's like Thor in a way in the background.
Just the protector.
He's like the protector, and he's there, and he's the one that like everyone roots for, and he's funny, and he has that like personality.
All right.
Yeah.
I like it. So
Yeah.
far, so good. So is Russ the last one?
Yeah,
Okay.
he's Quicksilver.
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 I don't know this guy.
So Quicksilver, he's
that's not the Silver Surfer, right? That's not
no,
him.
he's just super fast.
Oh, no, that's
he's-
tracks.
he's-
Then. All right, this makes sense.
But he's not only fast, he's like an asshole type of
Yeah.
fast. He's like messing with people the entire time that he's doing all of his speed
Little
stuff.
prankster?
A lot,
Yeah.
like a prankster.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
a prankster type of guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the speed is the difference.
Yeah.
All right.
He's really fast, and sometimes, I kind of look at it as like, can he be a little bit out of control sometimes with his speed? Yeah.
Okay.
And so with Russ, can be a little, I know what I mean by like, he can be a little under control.
Man.
And then sometimes, boggle or bungle a layup. You know what I mean? But he's the speed guy.
I feel like these are all good, but MPJ as the Groot is so funny. Especially when you're like,
that's a
he's
good
always
one.
messing things. I think
That's a
that's
good one.
actually,
That's a good one.
that's too bad. All right, let us know what you guys think in the comments, of course. I think, to me, it sounds like a good list, but maybe you have to tinker with it a little bit. Let us know in the comments. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use code DNVR365. Deposit $10 and place a bet of $5 to get $200 in bonus bets and a code to get the first 2 months of Altitude Plus, courtesy of Bet365. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Dev, let's make some money tonight if nothing else.
Let's make some money. Nuggets come into the game as 6-point favorites.
It opened at 5.5, so 6 is all right.
Well,
we're
I'm
on
not
up.
going to say to take the 6. You do got to keep in mind that the Nuggets are one of the best teams in the NBA on the second night of back-to-backs. They're just really, it's a mindset shift.
They lock in.
They lock in. They play a lot harder. It's like about calibration for them on that second night of a back-to-back. So if I would do this, I would put the money line as a juicer. I wouldn't just take the 6. That's a lot.
Okay.
And we know that this team can be two different teams.
You said under yesterday, and it was over by 100 points.
I'm glad that you bring that up because I'm done with unders for this team. I'm so done.
Okay.
Because they just don't have the personnel, and they are who they are.
They are
Just
bad
seems
defense.
to be that. This won't change. They're without Gordon again. They're still making the same type of defensive lineups, but this is who they have. The floodgates have opened. I'm going to go with the over on this game. I'm going to take the over. For the Pistons,
No.
do you guys know who was in top 2 for 3-pointers made on the season?
Malik Beasley.
An old friend, Malik Beasley. And you have to think that he's going to go after it in this game. This is going to be like a revenge spot for him. They have the line at 3.5. He gets in the game and he'll take 10 3-pointers.
Yeah, he will.
I really do think that this is like one of those like Michael Porter Jr. is out there and he's like, I wish I can do that. I really would. I want to do. I'm going to shoot it just because he shot it 5 times straight. I want them to just match that type of energy. I think he's going to be able to hit that. I love Cade Cunningham's over. Honestly, Cade Cunningham is one of my favorite players. And
Really?
he truly is. And they let that man shoot every single time. But I just think that he has a polished and poised game. Like, he's good. He really is.
Come on,
like one of the
CB.
best players. I think he's going to get his 23.5. I'm going to take the over and enjoy that show. I want you to enjoy the show.
I'm not going to do it.
Since we already talked about the over, we're going to stay on the Pistons side. I'm going to go over 114. Sorry. Team total. My bad, man. I can't shake what I seen last night. All right.
We just hyped these people up for 30 minutes, and he's like, you know who's going to score a lot? All the Pistons players.
All of them.
My bad. For the Nuggets side of
All right,
things,
here we go.
Zero defense
Here we
being
go.
played.
I believe Michael Porter Jr. is going to get back to he's back. I think that he's back to shooting the 3-ball well. I think the light is starting to come on, and there has to be a message, especially when you look at last night and how teams have been playing them. You guys have to shoot the 3-ball way more than you guys do. And that opens up the rest of the floor. So I'm going to go over 2.5 3-pointers.
You know this is my favorite bet. Now,
Love it.
this is a way
Love
to
it.
get back in my good graces.
That's your favorite bet? My favorite bet. Michael Porter Jr. assist.
That's not my favorite bet.
It's been hitting that plus money, and it's so funny. It's a blend. He is Groot. He's Groot. So I'm going to take that over assist for him.
All right.
With AG out, we knew that Peyton Watson was going to step into a bigger role, and he excels in that role. Bet365 wants us to get paid, so we're going to take their points over 8.5. He had 18 last night. It
really
did not
did.
get discussed as much as it should. He
Yeah.
scores. He's playing well. He's playing with confidence when he knows that he doesn't have to get out after one mistake. So
I
I'm going to
that
take the points. Brown scoring his return, and he finally made a shot. He looked at the heavens after he made his 3-pointers. And that's what they needed to see. His points are at 12.5, and he had that connection with Jokic that's been missing. I expect him to score. I'm going to go over here as well. There's so many buckets in this game. Did you see? I'm taking over on everything.
Wow.
Murray has been passing the ball well, and that's something that has been a bit overlooked when you think about how poorly he's played this year. He's been passing it.
Okay.
The assists are at 6.5. I'm going to take the over here. There's going to be plenty of scoring opportunities. He could give the ball to multiple guys that can score in this one.
Yoke's got to be aggressive
So
tonight.
I think there's going to be the
Has
over
to.
6.5 assists.
Okay.
Our defensive bet is Peyton Watson, 1.5 stocks.
I like that.
Yep.
He gets
What's
extended
the
minutes.
juice on
He gets
that?
it. It's pretty good, like 115.
Oh,
or
I
something
like that. I
yeah.
love this bet. I love
think that
one.
Jokic is going to get a triple-double. I do.
Okay.
Because I like the assist. I think he's going to get over 9.5 assists. And if you ever do that, you might as well just take the juice there, do the 9.5. And for the lock, I really do think that Jokic is going to dominate on the boards and also the assist. I think he'll go crazy on one of them, either like 16 rebounds or like 16 assists, one of them. So I'm going to do over 21.5 rebounds plus assists. I like the insurance that you'll get from like the triple-double. I think he's just going to go have a monster game on one of those.
We need Yoke to have a monster game. That would actually really calm me down. Just Yoke, a reminder game. I feel like we haven't seen one of those for a while. I mean, he's been really good because his floor is really good. But tonight I would love a best-in-the-world performance. But more than anything, just get a win, man.
Get a win.
Just
Get a win.
We get a win tonight?
I think we're getting a win.
All right.
We have to get a win.
We have to.
We have to get a
we
win.
getting a win tonight?
You're going to win.
I'm with you,
Yeah.
fellas. Let's
Yeah.
do it. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Emmy's going to be with us in the post-game show, too, breaking it all down. So you're going to want to tune in. Hit that like button. We'll see you on the other side.
We all silly like the mayor.